Hello everyone, and welcome to the True Awakening audio guide. Today, we're sharing the essence of this article's theme. And it's such a beautiful theme. You know that feeling when your mind is just a crowded room, so full of noise there's no space for anything new, let alone a moment of peace? Well, today, we're going to explore how you can transform that inner space into your own personal source of power and deep, deep tranquility.
So the source material starts with this really powerful idea. It suggests we think of meditation not as some mystical, far-off concept, but as a practical tool for modern life. It actually calls it a life technology. I just love that framing. It really brings the whole practice down to earth, puts it right in our hands. It's not about becoming some other person. It's about using a technology to upgrade your own inner operating system.
Okay, so where do we begin? Well, like with any good technology, first we have to understand the problem it's built to solve. And that problem? It's the constant, overwhelming busyness of our own minds.
Just think about it for a second. Our mental space isn't infinite. The source explains that we tend to fill it right up to the brim with the same thoughts day in and day out.
Oh, it's that feeling, isn't it? That argument you had yesterday. Suddenly it's replaying in your head this morning, and now it's feeling your anxiety about a meeting you have tomorrow. That's the exact feedback loop the source is talking about. It leaves zero room for anything new to grow, and it just makes you feel completely stuck.
And this slide really nails the contrast between those two states of being. So on the left, you've got the thinking mind. That's the one caught in that complex, repetitive loop we just mentioned. But on the right, that's your true consciousness, peaceful, present, and totally unbounded.
And the goal isn't to somehow shut off the thinking mind. I mean, that's impossible. It's really about learning to just step out of its frantic cycle and rest in that quiet, aware space that's always, always there underneath it all.
And making that shift, well, that's what this is all about. It's a process of awakening. Not to something strange or new, but to the true self that has always been there, just waiting patiently for you underneath all that noise.
Right. The core message here is that this peaceful nature isn't something you need to build from the ground up. It's actually your default setting. The work isn't about adding anything new to yourself.
Exactly. It's about gently clearing away the clutter, the old beliefs, the repetitive worries, so you can come back to that natural state of being. It's a feeling of coming home to yourself.
Okay, so this is where the theory gets really practical and honestly quite beautiful. The source lays out 5 foundational habits. These are simple, daily actions that create the perfect conditions for this inner awakening to just unfold naturally.
As you can see, the routine covers 5 key areas: taking care of your physical space, living by some core principles, engaging in a special kind of prayer, using your breath, and moving your body with intention. All together, they create this amazing support system for your inner work.
The first step feels so simple, but it's just so profound. There's that feeling of relief and clarity that washes over you when you tidy your room or finally organize your desk, right?
That's because your outer world is really a mirror of your inner world. So by creating physical space around you, you're sending this powerful signal to your mind that it's safe to be calm, to be clear, and to be open.
Next up, we have these 5 precepts. Now, it's really important to see these not as strict religious rules, but more like wise guidelines for simplifying your life and just reducing that inner conflict. And you can feel how each one cultivates a specific kind of inner peace. Not taking life fosters a deep sense of compassion. Not taking what isn't given allows you to feel true contentment. When you follow them, you start to quiet all that mental noise that comes from causing harm, and you build this stable, trustworthy heart.
So the third practice really redefines what prayer can be. It's not about asking for things from some outside source. Instead, it's an active practice of generating loving kindness, or metta, from within yourself.
And the practice itself is so beautiful. You just sit quietly and send these warm, compassionate wishes first to yourself. Then you expand that feeling out to loved ones, then to people you feel neutral about, and finally, even to those you have difficulty with. It just actively dissolves resentment and makes your own heart feel so much stronger.
And finally, we ground all of this inner work right in the body. The source recommends tandem breathing, which is all about focusing your breath deep in your lower abdomen, a few inches below your navel. It also suggests mindful walking. And both of these practices are all about sensation. With tandem breathing, you can literally feel your attention drop from your busy head into the solid, calm center of your body. With mindful walking, you just pay attention to the feeling of your feet on the ground. It's an incredibly simple and powerful way to pull yourself right into this present moment.
There's a real sense of inner light and clarity that can come from these practices. Almost a visual quality to the peace you cultivate.
And speaking of visuals, We should mention, by the way, you can watch the video version and see the complete slides via the YouTube link inside this article. We highly recommend experiencing the visual immersion of the light particles there.
So as you start to put all these practices together, it's so important to feel that this isn't about a quick fix, and it's definitely not about becoming some perfect person. It's really about consciously and gently beginning a profound personal journey of self-discovery.
We've really only touched on the essence here. For a much deeper dive, the text itself goes into more detail on the history of these practices and even the science behind why they're so effective. So, for the deeper details, please take your time to read the text below. There is a special kind of stillness found in the written words. And as you begin, please remember to be gentle with yourself. There's no rush here, there's no competition. This is your path and you get to walk it. Explore the truth at your own pace. Every single day you choose to engage with this, even in a small way, you are taking another step. This is the beginning of your own soul's journey. So we'll leave you with this question. It doesn't have to be all 5 practices at once. Not at all. Maybe it's just the feeling of clearing your desk. Maybe it's just taking 5 calm, deep breaths. What is the first small step you can feel yourself taking today to begin turning your own being into a power spot?